time I met a colleague, and he is an author and a writing coach. And he asked me, if you were going to write a book right now in life, what would it be called? I told him it would be called Just Fucking Say It. Because we don't say things so often because of this fear of rejection or abandonment or whatever the thing might be. Those are like the two fucking core ones, let's be honest. Um, right? And I was really coming hot off a situation in which I should have just said a lot of things sooner than I did. And so always comes full circle because here I am once more, and I have some things to share with someone. And I'm hesitating. I'm in a moment of hesitation, and that's okay. Like, I'm aware. I see it and I know it, and I'm just, there's this line, right? This, we don't want to just projectile vomit all of our problems and insecurities and bullshit to other people. And at the same time, we want to be honest about what we're experiencing and feeling. Like, I'm a huge feelings person. Like, that's the life I live in, is all by feeling for the most part. And I notice that I don't necessarily share that all the time. Like, maybe I'll share more good, right? Than more of that, like the insecurity things. And, part of that is my belief that I don't want to just put that on someone else, because ultimately I know every one of our insecurities is our thing to deal with. It's no one else can give me the self assurance that I need about me so that I feel okay with something, or that I understand something in a different way and in a way that makes sense and it feels good for me. Same goes for all of you. Um, but at what point, right? I'm just really contemplating this. At what point should we then share? So I did share these feelings with a friend, not the one that I was going to, but another one. And I was like, I'm feeling this kind of way about this particular situation. And she's like, yeah, it's, yeah, normal. And you should go, like, tell that person. She's like, it's easy for you to tell me. Why isn't it easy for you to tell them? And I'm like, well, because it's about them. Like, it's about my situation with them. Like, I can just tell you because you're my closest friend of 20 years. And, like, everything. It's not a big deal. And this other person I don't know as well. Right. So there's like this little scariness of like, ooh, what's going to happen? Like, is there going to be this rejection? Like, are we not going to be able to come to a resolution or agreement, or not even an agreement, but just an understanding, we'll say, of one another? Um, and so it's fascinating. It's fascinating to be aware and observe the insecurities from this different standpoint, this different awareness level. This is the thing. This is life. This is what we're here to do, is to learn and grow. And, like, you know what? I was getting a little comfortable in life recently, just really feeling good. And that's when these things come out, like, right? Is we've sort of graduated one thing, like wherever we are in life, that phase, and then we shift into the next. And then there's a whole new set of learning lessons there. And I feel, I don't know why, but I definitely feel a little caught off guard. There's a lot going on constantly when I spend time with this person. I'm just like, it's one lesson after the other, one like insecurity that I'm like having to let go of, or like one belief that's no longer relevant. And just, it's a lot of inner movement as I'm like attempting to get to know this person and like share time and space with them. And I'm just like, it's almost like being in these like the split world of like being here in the external and then being on the inside, and also like very actively moving through a lot of things going on. And it's interesting to do that, because in the past I would have just like pushed away those feelings of insecurity and be like, it's not a big deal. But now, like, I have enough space within me to be with someone and also to hold space for me and those feelings. And I might not say it out to that person yet, but I know that they're there and I'm really feeling it. And like, being with that while being with another person. And it's really fascinating to be in that space with myself. And so yeah, it's funny that a few months ago someone asked me a book I would write, and I'm like, just fucking say it. That would be the title, and all about like expressing yourself. Like, why are we so afraid to say the thing? Because we don't want to be rejected, we don't want to be abandoned like our parents did to us, or whatever happened in our childhood. But I believe in expressing ourselves. Like, I believe in just saying the thing, because the reality is, if this person isn't able to accept what I say, and that we can no longer find common ground, wouldn't I rather know now? Wouldn't we rather just sort that out and like have just said it, and like probably skipped a lot of bullshit by not saying it? And on the flip side, what if I say it and they totally understand and it's fine, and it's actually something that like is a bonding moment versus like a tearing apart moment? And even in that kind of like decision, like seeing like it could bring us together or further apart, that's just a program, a conditioning from like past relationships and experiences with other people, other friends, family members, all the things like coworkers, bosses. Like, yeah, this shows up so much, right? Like, you express something and you don't know what's going to happen, and we get programmed a lot of times based on that negative, because it just hurts more, right? When you share your feelings and it gets shut down in any way, or just like not validated, right? Like when we're not truly seen on a deep level. And not a lot of people yet can really show up on a deep level for me. I experience the world very deeply, but this person gets it because they do too. And I know that, and I knew that like right off the bat. And yet there's hesitation because I know that there's still the program in there that like it's not safe to express yourself deep in the subconscious. But I know that it is. I do it all the time without fear, without hesitation, without giving a shit what the person's going to think. But every now and again, something comes up and it's just like, oh, I feel the constriction happening. And I'm like, I don't want to be constricted. I want to live with like heart wide open. So I feel it. And so I'm just being with that. And so I will say the things, guys. Okay. Like, I will say them. And I'll give you an update too. After I do that, I'll let you know how that goes. And say it. Say the fucking thing, right? Like, rip the goddamn band aid off and be your motherfucking self. I know. I know. It's easier said than done. Let's be real. But I believe in it. I do. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to fucking take my own medicine and just say what I'm feeling. And it's probably going to be really uncomfortable. There might be some tears involved because, I'm a crier. I cry all the time. But what's a beautiful thing is like, when I talk about these things and the tears come, it's just like a release of that story. It's not like I don't need fucking sympathy from someone. And a lot of times it makes people uncomfortable too because they don't know how to deal with tears. And I'm like, we're just going to keep on talking right through it. Right. And so there's like that too. Like, I've not cried in front of this person before. So there's so many layers to these feelings of like, I don't want to say the things, but it's so important because, I feel the anxiety building a little bit. And I'm like, I choose to not live my life that way. Right? Like, is it better to like let anxiety build and grow, and like then you're carrying this like heavy thing with you? Or is it easier to just fucking say it? In the moment, it feels harder to say it, but it's not, right? In the grand scheme, it's just easier. You'll actually get the answers you want like that if you just say it. Maybe not the answers your ego wants, right? But you'll get the answers you want. It will make life easier to just say it. But we have a hard time letting go sometimes. We're afraid of the outcome. But what if you could be the safe space where no matter the outcome, you've got you? Because that's kind of where I'm going. That's where I am most of the time. And I'm going to just bring it here into this situation as well. I hold space for me. I've got me. And whatever else happens will be okay. Like, I can handle it. Like, I've handled some shit in life. It'll be okay. So, whatever the thing is that you're feeling, if you feel at a place where you're ready to share and you're just hesitating, do it. Do it. If you're in a place where you've got a lot swirling around and you don't know how to communicate it yet, sit with it, be with it, and feel it out for yourself, right? This isn't to say just blurt out whatever we're saying, like and thinking and feeling. This is a very intentional process. This is really about understanding yourself and communicating in a way that someone else can receive it, even if they don't agree, and even if you don't come to any sort of agreement or conclusion or whatever, right? You can agree to disagree. You can take action based on what's said, and you don't have to have it all figured out, but do come to a place of assurance within yourself, knowing that you'll be okay no matter what happens. And then when you have that, when you kind of know that you're the space for you and really feel that and kind of have a general idea of what you want to share, then fucking say it. Do it. Okay? And give yourself a time frame. Give yourself a time frame so you're not like making loads of excuses and never saying it, which is also something that I like to do. And that's why I'm saying that, because I'm not going to do it. It's been about, I would say, no, it's been like 4 or 5 days since I've really had this feeling. So, whew, it's not that, I feel like it's getting to the point where if I wait much longer, it's going to be into the sweeping under the rug category, taking too long, right? It's like time is a little of the essence, because if you wait, you get used to it and you're just like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. I'm going to just not say the thing and just like, whatever. No, we're not doing that anymore. So, time frame is good, right? I'd say like a week is satisfactory. Yeah, so go out there and do it and be your beautiful self and express yourself and just be you, the real, raw, vulnerable, authentic version of you, because that's what the world wants and actually really needs, is all of us to like show up in this way and not be afraid, or maybe not be so afraid at first to do it. Because when we do this level of work and show up for ourselves at this level and share at this level, we create space and pave that path for others to do the same. And I believe in this so much. I really do. I've seen it, right? This whole, like, I guess, leading by example, being able to show up as ourselves helps people do the same. Because when we're comfortable with us, so can other people be. Okay, my friends, that's what I've got for you today. Lots of love, and I'll catch you on the flip side.